Hi everyone! So this video is half out late. Last week I didn't do a video on episode 6, so this video is Berserk of Gluttony episode 6 and episode 7. To start with, Berserk of Gluttony episode 6, Fate's home village is being attacked and burned. Creed is a sword and can only yell to try to wake him up. A potion was made to wake up Fate by Set. The antidote created by Set does wake him up. Fate goes to fight the monsters. The monsters have done a lot of damage. Fate defeats the weaker monsters, and Fate is able to obtain the skill Fireball from it. Only the boss monster is left. Fate defeats that monster. He obtains the skill Fire Resistance. Morning comes and the village is gone. The whole village was burnt to the ground. The chief of the village died, as did many others. Only a few villagers are alive. Fate uses Identify on the land and sees the soil is also ruined. No one can live on this land. The few that survive will have to move. Set tells Fate to hit him. Fate does. This punch is Set telling Fate he is sorry for everything and this is them making up. Mugen tells Roxy Lanchester territory is a place she needs to be careful at. She will learn why once they arrive. Fate is in a carriage and he was hired to protect the man driving it. Bandits come to attack the carriage. Fate gets out to fight, but the man who was hired Fate clings to him. Fate cannot fight like this. Something is thrown at the bandits and they go flying away. It is the girl from a few episodes ago. She is a deadly sin user. This is confirmed. She asks them for a ride and they say sure. She saves them so they can do that. Once she gets onto the carriage, it tips. She tells her weapon Sloth to go back to normal. Now the carriage is not tilting over. As they travel to their destination, the girl says she knows about Fate. Fate asks how she knows. She says she is Mai of Wrath. She is like Fate. Mai gets hungry and Fate gives her food. They arrive to Lanchester. They see the flashy Rudolph save a woman. Roxy is going to be stopping in this town. We do not know when or if maybe they are stranded, but Roxy and Fate have a chance to be reunited. Mai takes the mission money, saying she is the one who saved him, not Fate. She then falls asleep. Fate is annoyed by her behavior, but he carries her to try to find an inn somewhere. Fate walks looking for a place when two men welcome them to the town. They are so nice. Fate notices marks on their neck. He is stopped by two guards saying this one area is only for citizens. They have markings on their necks also. Fate sees another man with markings on his neck. Greed tells Fate this is how Lord Rudolph identifies everyone's social status. We have a scene with Rudolph and he kills someone for doing something he didn't like. Rudolph is the one in charge of Lanchester, but he is not a good person. You do not want to be living here. In a hotel room, Greed tells Fate about the deadly sins. He says gluttony is the most powerful. The 7 sins are skills and weapons. So I was right. Like last episode of this video or 2 episodes ago where when we met Mai, I was like, I wonder if it's going to be a combination of maybe skills or weapons, or just all weapons or all skills. But I kind of did say that. I was like, oh, maybe it'll be skills and weapons. Cool for me. Reed tells Fate he needs to be stronger so gluttony will not take him over. At night, Fate goes out to defeat stand monsters. Fate will use Greed as a bow and try out his new fire skill. Fate is able to defeat them. He is winning! Mai wakes up and sees in the hotel lobby the posting to defeat the sand monsters. This is how Fate got the idea to fight the sand monsters. Fate is fighting alone, and there is a big sand monster attacking a group who are there to get the reward. They thought they could win, but they are losing. So Fate comes to their rescue and fights this sand monster, and after a minute, he kills the monster. The group of adventurers are impressed. They are thankful for him saving them. They ask for his name. Fate says his name is Corpse. They say Corpse is strong. Fate, in his town with Roxy, would not talk to anyone. He was the corpse, but made sure he didn't really communicate with someone, and if he did, he killed them. In this new town, Lanchester, he just talked. He's kind of like revealing himself without actually saying he's Fate. For winning, Fate gets the Sandstorm skill. Fate returns to the hotel room and freaks out Mai's naked. Mai asks why he looks like that in a costume. Fate is dressed as Corpse, and he doesn't want anyone to know it's him. Fate, dressed as Corpse, and Mai go to the guild hall to collect the reward money for killing the sand monsters. Mai did not fight, but has Fate share the money. Lord Rudolph goes to the adventure hall and says Corpse works for him now. He cannot refuse. Mai says Corpse works for her only and hits Rudolph out of the guild hall. This is a little funny moment, but Fate grabs Mai and they run away because Mai just hit the lord of this land and that is something you don't do. So they will be leaving. This means Fate will not be meeting up with Roxy. Sadly. When we go to Berserk of Gluttony episode 7, Fate and Mai have ran away from the town that Roxy was going to be at, and Fate and Mai are in the carriage. Fate could have met up with Roxy to follow her and protect her. They were so close. Fate tried hard to meet Roxy, and yet he had to leave because of Mai. Mai in the carriage is eating all of Fate's food. Fate jokes maybe she is the one with the gluttony skill and not him. Mai says rage burns a lot of calories. Mai does not like Fate joking and activates her sin weapon Sloth. Her sin weapon weighs a lot and it breaks the carriage. With the carriage broken, Mai walks to the small village they are stopped by. Fate finds the village chief. He is a holy knight protecting this village, which is really weird to see because Fate and even us audience have seen holy knights as being bad, evil people, but Fate is now meeting a holy knight who's actually a good person. Fate uses Identify on this man, and the village chief says Fate is an interesting guy. He also can use the skill Identify. He says Fate is interesting because he is level 1, though all of Fate's stats are over 2 million. That doesn't make any sense. The village chief and Fate fight. Fate loses, and he does not lose on purpose. He genuinely loses to the village chief. The village chief says Fate is allowed to stay at his village only if Fate agrees to be trained by him. The village chief wants to train Fate because he can tell Fate has no idea how to properly fight nor properly use his skills. Fate tells Mai they will be staying with the village chief. The village chief's name is Aaron. Aaron first trains Fate in hand-to-hand combat. Aaron teaches Fate how to stand properly, and then they slow fight each other. Slow fight turns into real fighting. Fate's eye during this combat training turns red. Aaron asks about it and comments Fate is moving much better now after his red eye. Fate says Aaron is just a great teacher. Fate tomorrow will train in combat. Fate doesn't hide his eye color. I find it a little odd. He was hiding it before, and now in episode 7 and even a little bit in episode 6, he doesn't hide really who he is. Episode 7, he's not hiding his eyes. Training for this day is over, and when they go back to Aaron's place, they cannot eat dinner because Mai ate all the food. She is really worse than Fate with the gluttony thing. Aaron is going to ask villagers if they can spare food for him. With Aaron gone, Fate sees a photo of Aaron and his family. Greed says his son kind of looks like Fate. This is probably why he is being nice to Fate. The next day comes. Fate is given a stick and has to parry Aaron's sword. Fate is able to use a wooden stick, and he does actually parry Aaron's sword. So Aaron is really happy about that. Nighttime comes, and they have a goodbye dinner. Fate has learned a good amount and is more stronger now. Fate asks Aaron about the castle that is located in the village. Aaron says 15 years ago, it was his castle. His son and others lost their life against the one who now lives there. Mai tells them she has no taste. She cannot taste, so all food is the same to her, which maybe that's why she eats a lot, or maybe she was truthful when she said she burns a lot of calories because of rage. Fate goes outside and Aaron follows. Fate is going to the castle. Aaron says he will join. Mai goes outside and says she will not be joining. She wants to stay behind to protect the village for 50 gold coins. Aaron and Fate at the castle are fighting the skeletons. What is going on? They enter a room and Aaron's son, wife, and servants are waiting for him. They say they have been waiting for Aaron and welcome him back. All of them are supposed to be dead. Greed tells Fate he thinks this is illusion magic. Aaron's son stabs him, but Aaron blocks it. Aaron's son says how dare he abandon them. Aaron tells Fate he will fight the illusion family. It is his family and he will resolve it. Fate leaves the room and finds the one in charge and fights them. them. The one in charge has magic to bring people back from the dead. Eren comes to Fate's side. His illusion family is now by the evil lord side. Fate sees the sun's sword lying around and uses it with Eren's sword to win. They have won and the castle is free again. Eren will live a life where his family can be proud of. All the souls are able to leave the castle. They're no longer trapped. Fate freaks out, but is able to control his gluttony. He needs to kill more because that is the gluttony skill, and Fate is slowly starting to freak out because he just needs to devour more. He needs to kill more. But this is not the time to fight and feed. Eren tells Fate he broke his level limit. Greed kind of explains it to Fate and the audience that it could have been Fate as a Sin user fighting with Eren. Eren believed in Fate, so Eren believed in the Sin's powers, and he was able to break the level limit. There are some skeletons left, and Eren and Fate compete on who can kill the most. Morning comes, and Eren gives Mai the money she said she wanted. Mai says she needs to rebuild her village, which is why she is very greedy, which it basically does seem like Fate teasing her was correct. Like, Mai just has all of Fate's sins, so like, yeah, Fate was right to tease her about that one. Eren says he knows Mai. Mai was here 50 years ago when monsters attacked this village. He says she has not changed looks and is still a very strong warrior. Eren asks who she is. She says she is a ghost who cannot die, and she walks away. Eren points out Fate's one eye is no longer red. Fate tells him his body requires him to kill monsters. If not, his eyes turn red. This is why last night, when Fate killed all the skeletons, it took a bunch, but he was able to kill a lot of skeletons to reduce his eye color and to feed his gluttony. Why is Fate in this episode showing and telling Eren all about himself? Like, that's kind of odd. He doesn't do that to anyone else. Eren says in the future, he has something to tell Fate. Oh, so maybe Eren knows Fate is a Sin user? Or maybe Eren himself has a Sin skill? Or there's just something up with Eren right now. Like, you don't tell someone, hey, I have something to tell you, but in the future. Like, that's definitely a very important to the plot, which unfortunately we will all have to wait for the future. Episode 7 ends with Raphael found the Philosopher's Stone, or he got it. Raphael is told Corpse killed Hato, which is how the episode ends, and with him finding out Corpse killed Hato, I mean, no one there really likes the Corpse anyways, so now Raphael has more of a hatred for Corpse, because he just killed a holy knight Hato. I'm sure this little 1-minute scene was shown to us audience members because Raphael will probably be appearing more in the future by trying to hunt down Corpse, and maybe he will eventually learn Corpse is Fate. I don't know if Fate will tell him. I feel like with this little scene right here, maybe Ralph will figure it out on his own. I don't know, but they probably will be having a battle in the future together. YouTube, do you know what is cool? What is cool is subscribing to my channel. It really helps me grow. It would help me a lot if you subscribed. I appreciate you watching and listening to my video, and you can go check out my other videos if you really liked this one. Thank you!